What do you think happens when someone sees your apparel brand for the first time? Maybe they see your Instagram, maybe they see your TikTok, maybe they see your website. What do you think they're thinking? Are they thinking, wow, this brand looks premium, it looks reputable, it looks like I can depend on it, I'm interested. You want your customer to have a great impression of you because people purchase with their eyes before they purchase with their wallet. And when they receive the product, actually dictates how your customer engages with your brand long term, if they remain a customer that is going to repurchase with you. So in this episode, I'm going to run you through how you as an online apparel sportswear brand specifically can actually optimize your presence, your ads, your website, that they go through the life cycle of purchasing from you and that they come back to you time and time again. So we'll start off with the very beginning, which is essentially when they see the first ad. So the first time that they see an ad or an organic piece of content from you, whether it's through Instagram Explore, whether it's through TikTok, whether it's even through Google SEO or Google Ads, they want and are forming an opinion of you. They're going to see your visuals, your copy, they're going to see your tone, your vibe, essentially everything that constitutes what your brand is. And they're going to be thinking to themselves, is this brand legit, or is this maybe just another cheap Chinese knockoff brand or drop shipping brand? Or does this brand look like something I would want to wear and am I going to have a good experience wearing it? And is this brand currently better than what I already wear and the brands that I already trust? You're trying to be premium, but the brand itself comes off as very basic and very uninspiring because of the visuals, maybe because of the words that are used, maybe even because of the types of colors that you use in the products and the product design itself. All of this plays in. Consistency is key, and customers not only judge off of first impressions, but also off of brand consistency. So how do you fix this? It's very important that you lead with one consistent brand identity. Pick one tone, one mood, one vibe, one sort of way of communicating yourself to customers. When you're starting off a brand, if you start off with an inconsistent approach to your customer base, you're going to confuse customers and you're going to make them feel a sense and a lack of trust for your brand. Number two, now they land on your website. What they're going to be seeing and looking at are the product photos, the product descriptions, the fonts, the layouts, the consistency of everything, how easy your website is to navigate, how easy it is to understand and to find what they want. What does this cause them to think? Is this a real brand? Is this an established brand? How long have they been around? Would I feel confident maybe making a return to this brand, submitting a customer ticket? And ultimately, is it worth the price? Some core things to look at when it comes to red flags, and I've seen this so many times with startup brands, is amateur photography. Maybe they use cheap AI generic mockups to portray the products, which come off as inconsistent and insincere. At the end of the day, there needs to be a level of credibility and trust built up that is invested into. Use correct and consistent description. So what to fix? Invest into some level of photography, whether it's doing it yourself. Get a good mirrorless camera, get some 3-point lighting setup, get a white backdrop. Don't use just generic content or copy that it looks like ChatGPT wrote it. Yes, you can use AI to help you write the content, but if you're not prompting it correctly, my recommendation for writing a perfect prompt for a website would be describe your brand, describe what you're about, describe who your core customer is. My recommendation would be get a sort of skeleton of the website and start prompting section by section to get the best possible outcome for it. And I recommend fine-tuning your prompts as you go along. Number three is now the checkout experience, and this is key. This is where you see a lot of abandoned carts coming up. What customers are going to be looking for is the user experience flow. How easy is it to get from what I purchased to checking out, discount offers, shipping info? How easy is it to autofill or to present or to fill in your shipping information? Payment options. Do not sleep on this. What customers are thinking are, how easy is this going to be for me to check out? Payment is one of the most difficult parts of the process. It's where the pain is involved. You should make it as easy as possible. You should shrink that pain and you should maximize the benefit. You should make it seem that as soon as they pay, they're going to get something amazing out of it. Some mistakes to avoid that I'd recommend are things like unexpected fees. Make sure you're consistent with your fees. Confusing shipping terms are clear. Be clear. How many different shipping methods? How long does it take? Also, no sizing guide information on the product page. Also, unbranded checkout pages are a no-no. We've seen abandoned cart rates go dramatically up when the checkout page doesn't resemble the actual page of the website. So what to fix? You want to make sure that the checkout process is clean, have multiple payment processor options. Make sure your checkout process is as smooth as possible. Give people instant gratification. Let them see the progress of how close they are to actually receiving their product. Make the experience feel seamless. Next up is the unboxing moment. I call this sort of the first impression. It's kind of like meeting someone for the first time. Your brand perception is either going to skyrocket or it's going to crash here. Actually, the likelihood of customers repurchasing when they've had a great experience with your brand for the first time through packaging specifically, 78% more likely than without a proper packaging experience. What they're going to see or feel is the packaging, the look, the texture, the smell, the product details, how it feels in the hand, how easy it is to wrinkle, to crinkle, how things are presented, how things are laid out. What they're either thinking is, oh, this feels premium, or I feel scammed, or this brand feels rushed. It feels just like the rest of them. It feels like a Shein product. It feels like a brand that really doesn't know what it's doing, and I can't trust them again with another purchase. I wouldn't recommend this to someone that I love. Things to definitely avoid are weird smells in your packaging, poly bags that don't have any branding, or crinkly used old poly bags with generic stickers on them, or no cards that kind of indicate some sort of appreciation from your side. It can be something that you can just write yourself, especially as a startup brand. Those small touches really help. Tags on the product. My recommendation would be at least have 3 key packaging items as a starting point. It should have your product sleeves in it, not the clothes just bunched up and over each other like a laundry bag. This is where the product sleeves come in, and then when they open up the product from the product sleeve, it should have a hang tag that tells a bit of the story, that gives a little bit information about what makes you unique, your socials, maybe a thank you note. All of these things are key. Number 5, now we go on to the first wear. They've taken your products out of the packaging and now they're experiencing it. They're going to be judging things like how it fits on their body, how the fabric feels on their skin, how it looks in the mirror, are there any loose threads? What they're going to be thinking are, wow, this is better than I expected, or this is a complete letdown. Customers are excited to receive your product. Meet those expectations and fly through them. What matters the most when it comes to the product experience? It's going to be the fit for sure. How does it fit? Does this product fit you like this? What is the fabric? Is the fabric on point? Is it as described on the website? If it's going to be a cotton polyester blend, and that it says it's smooth, it's lush, it's plush. What are the essential points to fix when it comes to your product source interaction? It's going to be design around your customer. If you're a pickleball brand, design for a pickleball player, design for their needs, design for how they're going to use the products. Test your product on multiple body types. Don't just test it on a generic body type or on a super athletic or super oversized body type. Last but not least is what happens after they purchased, after they've worn it, and once they put it through the washing machine. They're going to be thinking the following is, how does the value proposition hold up? When the product is out of the packaging, out of the hype, out of the initial sort of experience of the customer, when it's stuffed in the drawer, when it's been through a couple wash cycles, does it shrink in the wash? Is the color fading? Is it pilling? Does it hold its shape? Does it actually look and feel as good as the first time that you wore it? If the answer is no to any of these questions, think about what that does for customer confidence long term. Are they going to come back and purchase from you a second, a third, a fourth time? Of course not. But if it does fulfill that promise, what happens? They become fans, they become advocates, they repost it, they recommend it to their friends and family, they return for more. This is why we've seen so many brands begin to invest in great quality product experiences, packaging experiences, more so than on ads. Whereas before, 5 years ago, it used to be all about the marketing. Now it's all about the product. Great marketing cannot fix a bad product. You're going to lose money on every sale. Well guys, that is it. That is a wrap on this episode. And in reality, most co-founders and founders overestimate how customers are going to perceive their brand because they're so close to it. So make sure every single element, every single stage of that customer journey is buckled in so that you can maintain long-term customer value, so that they can come back to you time and time again. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you want to see other topics like this, I've been really trying to give unique spins. At the end of the day, I've done over 2,000 episodes at this stage. You can check out a bunch of those videos that I've done over the last 10 years in this channel. If you want my advice one-on-one in terms of how we can set a great first impression throughout the entire customer journey so that your customer LTV can skyrocket, check the link in the description to apply to work with me one-on-one. I do take limited people on, but I'd be more than happy to hop on a call with you guys. I say this from the very bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of FittDesign TV. Until next week, stay awesome.